Hi, it's Ryan Casey, sales trainer, Orange Theory studio owner. And today I'm kicking off a quick 4-part series on running good staff meetings for your sales team. So we've talked about sales being a set of skills before. And just like any skill, it takes time to develop these skills. So good coaching will help cut down your team's learning curve and help them consistently improve. So too often we get our staff together and all the time gets taken up by topics that seem more urgent at the time. And very often sales skills get left to last priority if there is time, and often just not covered at all. So in our 4-part series, we will be covering meeting preparation, staff involvement, catering to your staff's learning style, and then getting traction from your meetings. So let's dive in with today's topic, and that is preparing for your meetings. So preparing a good meeting is a great use of time to help maximize your staff's results from the meeting. And you don't need to spend hours and hours each week, but dedicating some time to make your meeting as effective as possible will go a really long way. So too often managers just throw some announcements together at the last minute and then just wing the rest of the meeting. And if that's the effort that you put into a meeting, what kind of effort or energy do you think your staff's going to give you? And if your staff doesn't put effort into the meeting, then what kind of results do you think you're going to see from the meeting? So here are a few things to consider when you're planning your meetings. First, does this need to be a meeting, or does this need to be a meeting topic? Would that topic be better as an individual conversation or an email? Or maybe it's an email before the meeting, and then it's a discussion during the meeting instead of just trying to explain the whole topic at the meeting. You can involve more discussion that way, or just not cover it at all, right? What does my staff need help with right now? What are some topics or areas that I've heard them struggling with within the last week or two? How do I plan to drive interest to keep energy high at the meeting? That's something that you should prepare into your meeting, because it's not just what you cover, but is your team actually going to listen? Half, if not more, of teaching and coaching is about just getting your team to want to improve and want to hear the topics and want to learn, not just what they actually hear at the meeting. Another thing to consider is who on the staff should be speaking at the meeting, right? Or teaching at the meeting. Who has some accomplishments that I could recognize. Here's a great rule to remember: is recognize what you want repeated. When people get recognized for doing something, they generally repeat that behavior, and others want to start doing that as well. So one of my original mentors would tell us that 80% of our meetings should be promotion and recognition. Now, a lot of the teaching we did was through recognizing others and their achievements. So we'd say something like, hey, Veronica, you just had your best sales pay period you've ever had. Can you tell us some tips and things that went into improving so much? And then she would get a chance to talk, and we'll recognize her in the same way. And then promotion is designed to increase motivation and enthusiasm of your team. A team that's excited and enthusiastic will sell much better than a team that's very skilled but has no drive or motivation. And then last thing, super important when you're for preparing your meeting, is you want to consider, do I have an outcome for running this meeting? Do I know why? What am I trying to achieve by running this meeting? That should go into your preparation. You want to have a specific desired outcome of what you want to see change after this meeting. What improvements do you want to see? And if you're not willing to spend a little time preparing a meeting, why should your team even show up? So let's finish with a few last tips on preparing. So first is use a basic outline. Now, this makes it really easy to plug in different topics or speakers, and you don't feel like you're starting from scratch every single week. And you can have things on there like last week's numbers review, hearing from a top performer for the week, a leadership lesson or quote of the week. And it's cool to have some of your staff mention those, which we'll talk about in the next video. Role play, huge part of increasing that skill is that repetition, right? Announcements, anything you want covered on a weekly basis, just kind of put that in your bullet point outline, and then you can plug in your topic each week. I used to keep my sales meetings on an Excel sheet with different tabs for each week. And so I'd have that basic outline, I'd copy and paste it onto each week, and then I could just plug in the topic and who are the speakers each week, made it really easy. It also was nice that I could look back on past meetings and see different topics we covered, and it helped me prepare for topics that were seasonal. And so that way, during finals, students will usually get kind of stressed out. So time management is a good topic to teach right before finals happen. You can also talk about how to best use those holiday sales and promotions right before. So those are some meetings you can have planned well in advance. So I'd usually keep that document open on my computer. So throughout the week, as I noticed trends or struggles with staff, I would immediately write in the topics for the next or future staff meetings. And that made it easy to prepare because I always had a head start. And my favorite time to plan the meeting was immediately following the previous meeting. In Cutco, we used to run our sales meetings on Wednesday nights. And so as I was talking, I was either making mental notes, or if another speaker was talking, I was taking notes on what are improvements I want to see, what are things that I need to teach that the next week. How is my staff responding to the meeting styles? Or a way we can change it, where we can raise energy, all the different things I was considering and writing notes on there. And then when I would get home after the meeting, I'd usually at least write out kind of the bullet points that I wanted to cover at the following meeting. That way it was fresh in my head. So put a little energy into preparing your meetings. Come up with that weekly outline so you can plug in those topics, and make sure you find a specific outcome. What is the desired result of what you want to see happen because of running that meeting? And you'll find that the more energy you put into your meeting, the more energy your staff will give you during those meetings. And don't forget to plan some fun in there too. So that's it for today. Please put any questions or tips, any comments you have down in that comment section, and we'll see you soon. And just to sweeten the deal, I'm offering a limited time special pricing on this course. This price won't last long, so go ahead and check it out right now.